Buddy, we gotta tell stories tonight. We give it a few minutes for people to join in, and yeah, we got some stories tonight for you. Let's turn this on. Yes, Joe. Hello, hello. Hey, Jamie, how's it? Hey, Sandy, how's it? Um, Cheryl, hi, how's it? Neil, aloha. Good to see you. Always good to see you, bro. Always good to see everybody too. Hey, Uilani, how's it? Sandy, Faye, aloha. Let's get this bugger started up. Back, back. No, Egon's home tonight. Last night was kind of weird. I was really distracted last night. Hey, Troy, how's it? Hey, Sandy, Martha, aloha. So, yeah, Matt's recovering, but he'll be on the live. So I'm not anywhere sketchy and spooky and, that kind of stuff. Maybe a little spooky. I've never really been here before, but we'll see what the night holds. Hopefully, none of these. Anybody want to take a guess where I am? I'm gonna give you guys a 360. You know where I am. Shh. Oh no. Crow, how's it? That was too fast. Yeah, okay. There you go. Slowly, slowly. Because they close at 10 p.m. So yeah, how's it, Crow? Aussie, how's it, brah? Nope, not New One Cemetery. That'd be cool though. I'd love to go over there. So they get security guards, huh? Ha. Well, Crow, all you gotta do is go anywhere in Hawaii, and everywhere you go is haunted. I'm at Kaneohe District Park. Because the stories I have is about right up the street where I used to work. So I figured I'd get a little bit of close. I get a little close where it's legal and the public, that kind of stuff. I don't like trespassing. You stay in Hawaii. Well, everywhere you go, get ghosts, bro. Everywhere you go, get kupuna, get spirits, get all kinds of stuff. Yeah, close to home. Oh man. Weekends have longer days than weekdays sometimes. Weekends is when they get parties, stay at the beach all day, at the pool all day, go swim, play, jump around. Ooh. Hold on. Hey Matt, hey Sons of Hawaii, how's it? What am I doing for Halloween? Trick-or-treating with my kids and then doing a live. Hey Sweet Savage, how's it? Modern Warfare. Cool, aloha, how's it? Um, yeah. I'm not used to the noises over here yet, so I call them my. There's cats, there's people in the bushes, walking through, all kinds of stuff, yeah, so I'm still kind of learning the sounds over here. And then you have singing car horns that are honking at each other, why not? Share to Facebook. Hold on. Yeah, don't worry, Matt. Hey, Joy, how's it? Crow, actually, I don't do ghost hunting as much as I just tell ghost stories. I do investigate. Actually, I ordered a piece of equipment today. I'm really kind of stoked about that. I ordered a special REM pod. So yeah, I'm stoked about that. Should come in a few days. I'm at Kaneohe District Park, right down the road from Hawaii State Hospital. Matt, I feel bad, dude. I think it's because Because I had you carry the stuff around for me last night, yeah? I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I know a lot of history. Not all, not as much as I'd like, but I know a lot. Was at a family party today, and my uncles pulled me over, and they're like, "Hey, so the Battle of Kamehameha. What happened with this and what happened?" I'm like, "Bro, what's going on?" No, it was good. I'm apparently the historian of the family, so they're like, "Yeah." I had no idea what he was saying, but I'm gonna go to a real haunted house in Hawaii. What do you recommend? I don't know about haunted houses. You can come to my house, but um, if you want to, it's. I'm glad you bring this up, bro. It's in Hawaii. I'm not sure if you're from down here or you're from somewhere else, but in Hawaii, it's a little different. You don't go looking for haunted houses. I love the history, and I go to places of historical significance. Most of them, if not all, are outdoors. But if you want to go into a house, get a tour from Iolani Palace. That has a lot of stories, but it's not haunted booga booga, I'm gonna scare you kind. It's haunted with history, with the queen, the king that still roam the halls every now and then. You have Prince Albert, the little boy running around playing. You have Princess Kaiulani, all of that kind of stuff. You bored? You like Kamkanioi? Sure. Just me over here, and they probably go kick me out at 10. Yeah, sounds good, bro. And we have, yep, that's Kanioi. Anytime you get ambulance or fire truck, the whole valley echoes. Bishop Museum, yep, yep, yep. You want to see a ghost? Okay, I recommend to you go to Paradise Park by yourself at night. Manoa Falls Hiking Trail. Always good action in Kanioi. You go over there, you may see a little more than a ghost, though. They have a little bit more creepier things there. Run? No, I don't run. I'm Hawaiian. I sit down and I yell at the ghosts. Hey, Suzette, how's it? I do this a lot, Crow, and I don't see ghosts a lot. You hear things, you feel things, but as I said, my purpose is always to tell stories, yeah? Kanioi always get action. Uh-huh. Hey, how's it been? This is... Oh, you never drove last night, did you, boy? Hey, Olicorn. Phoebe, how's it? Cheerful Gardenia, how's it? You run from the ghost will chase you, you stand your ground, and then you leave on your own accord, yeah? I know a story about that real fast, too. We went to, when I did the tours, we went to back of Manoa Valley, Paradise Park, and I was doing the tour back there, and stuff was happening. Like we walked all the way to the back by where the bathroom used to be, and like something came running up to us in the bushes. But the thing is, it's all bushes. However, it's more of a ravine, yeah. So it's this big, empty, like just a ravine. So something actually, the grass was growing up high, right? And so it looked like something was running towards us, but it was 30 feet high above the ground. And so everybody kind of screamed. And I mean, this thing came right up to us. It was like footsteps, like, like as close as I am to the camera. And everybody in the group screamed and ran away. They screamed and they started to run. And I yelled at them, like, no, stop, 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 stop. Everybody come back. Everybody come back and just hang out, stop. And they were like terrified, but then they were like shocked, like, what? What's he doing? And I told them, okay, what you got to do is turn around, look at where the spirit was, say thank you, and then we leave on our terms. That way they don't follow you home. Yeah, that way they don't chase you. You gotta be brave a little bit, right? It's easy to be brave with everybody. El chupacabra. Wonder if they taste good. Jeff Tarumi. I miss that guy. I was thinking about Jeff today. Jeff Termy shared a lot of interesting stories. Yeah, yeah. Too many people passing away. Yeah, too many good people are passing away. I've met Jeff a few times. He shared lots of cool stories and stuff, and yeah, he was an awesome guy. Yeah, no sense they run. Ghost can run faster than you, yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin the subject. Oh, we have a lot of people. I love to. I'll just sit down one night and just read the chat and talk story. My cousin was telling me about the condemned orphanage on the North Shore. She said it was super sad. Yeah, and creepy. Yep. The I forget what it's called, but I know the one you're talking about. Sean, how's it? How's it? Oh, you up the road? Come by, say hi, bruh. Keith, how's it? How's it? Yeah. No, I mean, I've been doing this long enough. I learned not to run. If you run, they will chase you. And yeah, when I'm on a tour and when I'm the one in charge of the tour, I don't want like 20 people running in the pitch black near a 900-foot drop up at the Pali Lookout. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Night Joy. Yeah. I wanted to go check that out. I forget what it's called. Ah, it's on the tip of my tongue. Always on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, you stay right down the road, Alucard. Just drive straight up, but I'm here. Check out my new avatar. I just made it. Oh, sweet. Nice. No, I don't do the ghost tours, not since 2012, 2014. I love doing tours, but it's kind of hard to do them every night. And it's not very rewarding to entertain tourists every night. It wasn't very fulfilling. They want to be scared and they want to go booga booga and they want to jump scare and I'm just giving them history and stories of our kupuna and sometimes I'm not waiting for them for the kupuna to put on a show for them, right? It just seems really disrespectful. So doing that night after night after night kind of burns you out. That's why, I mean, if you guys don't like the live, you guys don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and scroll, right? But you guys are here of your own free will, and none of you guys are paying $70 a person either, right? So that's why I prefer to do it this way, and it's free. So yeah, and I love doing it. So, but I will be doing kind of semi ghost tours starting soon, maybe Tuesday. I want to go the locations we would go to: Pali Lookout, Manoa Chinese Cemetery, Morgan's Corner, Paradise Park. And then I want to do a walking tour downtown while I'm live too, yeah? Yeah, the history is great. Yeah. Yeah. And get to know you, yeah. I saw somebody jump on. I'm seeing these names jump on and it's making me sad. There's just names of people that I have lost in the field. Like one after another, and then Jeff Terumi, and I'm like, and then Mace, we went to his funeral the other week, and just, wow, I'm getting old. That's cool, Sean. Yeah, that's cool, bro. Keith, I'm solo tonight. Matt's recovering. I had a few days off. He gets a few days off too. So, let's begin with the story. Then we'll talk stories some more. I mean, I could tell stories all night about this place. I think I did a few weeks ago, over at the waterfall in Nu'uanu Valley. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, cheerful guardian. Yeah, it's a weird stage of life where everyone is either passing or having families. Yeah. The apartment by Jack in the Box is haunted too. At least I know of one of the apartments that is. Maybe that's where the kite lives. Alucard. That's the case. I come to your house, we'll tell those stories. Nah, that's not a rain. That's just the wind blowing. The rain from the trees. Maybe, maybe not. But like, yeah, sorry. My sister once told me, she we're talking story, and she looked at me and she said, "Oh yeah, probably look out is cool." I'm not gonna read the chat. I'm getting distracted over here. I'm 44. See, I'm getting distracted again. My sister told me years ago that so after the ghost tours, I went to the mental health field and I worked there overnight, of course, right? Over at Hawaii State Hospital, over at programs where the people who come out of the hospital are in group homes, and I had to watch them and do stuff like that. And I've heard stories, I've seen things, I have my own stories, but like my sister told me like my brain must be a really messed up place. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, half of your memories are full of ghost stories and things that happened to you when you did the tours and things that happened to you before. And the other half is full of people who are mentally ill and the things that you witnessed and seen, you know? And so just some of the things that would happen. Of course, HIPAA, I'm not going to violate. There's no names coming out or even place locations or anything like that. But like giving somebody medication. This was giving somebody medication happened to my coworker. The guy comes up for his medication and just decides to take a sharp and decided it's time to go home, unalive himself, right there, with the fluid squirting from his neck and everything, and running into the house and squirting, just like squirting, like, yeah, trying to chase him down, trying to wrap it up with a towel, and at the same time calling 911, and then afterwards having to clean up the trail that was left behind, that kind of stuff. Some of them are gross, some of them are creepy, some of them are just traumatizing. You know, there's a lot of things like that. Watching the people that you develop rapport with night after night after night after night, helping them with their voices in their head, their problems, all of that stuff, and then they end up giving up, you know. So it's just I was in the group homes 2012 to approximately 2017 or 18, and then I worked at the state hospital till COVID, and then I was done. I prefer problems like the ones I get now, where I fix alarms, where I walk in, fix a problem, and go home. You know, it's not a maintenance kind of thing. So what story should I start with? You know, I know I shared these stories not too long ago. I'll start with one that I didn't. I wanted to tell this story up at Mauna Kea, but I was distracted and forgot. So, and we got kicked out and all of that stuff. So, up at Mauna Kea, when I was up there last week or so, I wanted to tell stories about Michael the Archangel. And this was kind of one that had to do with that, right? So I'm in a state hospital. I cannot say names and stuff, but I'm in the state hospital, and I'm in the ward where people first get in, and where the problem people go, the ones that require one-to-one care, which was my job. I got to sit next to them, 6 inches from them, 1 foot from them, for the entirety of the shift. You know, to make sure they don't harm themselves, they don't harm anybody else, that kind of stuff. Um, Learn to tackle them to the ground nicely, so you don't hurt them while they get the shot in the butt to calm down. But there was one guy that I had met. He was in another unit when I first started. He was my first one-to-one. He was an elderly man, around my dad's age. So I liked him. He was really cool. I was told on briefing that he was trouble and he was a problem, and that's why he needs one-to-one care. That he's gonna drive me crazy all night. And so the wind keeps blowing and the water keeps falling out the trees and hitting me. Huh. There we go. And so when I met him, he was this nice old man, and I really enjoyed his company. He was sleeping, and he'd wake up they said throughout the night. He'd wake up and all of that stuff, and I'm like, okay, Uncle, you need to go back to sleep. It's still lights out. It's 10 p.m. You gotta go sleep, Uncle. Okay, I'll get you up when it's time to wake up and take your medication and breakfast and all of that kind of stuff. But he kept waking up, and he kept kicking. He would toss and turn. He'd kick the sheets off. He'd kick the covers off, and the hospital was cold, right? Really, really cold. Like I had to wear a jacket, sweater, a beanie, sometimes gloves, pants. You know what I mean? It was cold to sit down all night, so I knew Uncle was cold too. And every time he'd kick his blanket off, that's when he would wake up, like a few minutes after, because he'd get cold. So I put socks on his feet. I doubled up the socks, and I put another blanket on him. And because I'm sitting there watching the guy sleep, every time he'd kick the blanket off, I'd tuck him back in. Just put it right back over him. And the next morning, he was fine the whole night. He was perfectly fine. And the next morning, he woke up and thanked me. He asked me what my name was, and he thanked me. He said he really liked that I took care of him because it's hard for him to take care of himself. He cannot walk too good, that kind of stuff. And so, we had a good rapport. And every time I'd seen him since then, he was good. But the onus of the tragedy of mental health is that it doesn't always last, right? So, about a year later, I got assigned to him again, right? So there, previously I was assigned to him about a week or two before with two other people because this 70-year-old man that could barely move was so dangerous. It required three full-grown adults to sit next to him and watch him sleep, to hold him down, that kind of stuff, in case he's gonna hurt himself and that kind of thing, right? So at this point, he was doing better, and it was just me, and it was fine. At this point, he didn't remember who I was. He didn't know who I was. He was fine with everybody else, but when I went in the room with him, one on one, he saw me. He just started yelling, started screaming, and then he'd calm down, and then he'd go back to yelling and screaming, and then he'd kind of doze off, and this would happen on and off, on and off. And he'd get up, I gotta use the bathroom. He's like, oh, I need to use the bathroom. Can you help me to the bathroom? I'm like, sure, right? Help him get out of the bed, walk him to the bathroom, which is attached to his room. And he proceeds to take the soap out of the dispenser and rub it into his eyes like that. Just the soap, just out of the dispenser, and then just rub it into his eyes. And I'm like, Uncle, what are you doing? He's like, don't say anything. He just goes and reaches for more soap and tries to get as much as he can before I make him stop rubbing the soap in his eyes. And I'm like, okay, like, Uncle, no, let's go wash your eyes. And the whole time now I'm fighting him because he doesn't want to wash his eyes. He just wants his eyes to burn. I don't know why. But finally we did that, and I put him back. I'm like, Uncle, you gotta use the bathroom? No? Okay, let's go back to bed. And he kept trying to get out and trying to get out and trying to get out. He kept trying to climb out of the bed, where if he did, he'd fall down and break his hip, so I couldn't let him get out of the bed. I told him, if you need to use the restroom, we can use the restroom. I'll help you, but you need to tell me you need to use the restroom and only use the restroom, the toilet. And he just, he started getting mad. He started he was strong. I had a lanyard on, right? He would grab my lanyard and then just grab it and try to rip it, and I couldn't dislodge him. At one point, I remember he grabbed me by my shirt because I'm over tucking him in again. And he grabbed me by my shirt and wouldn't let go. And so I just took my shirt off and I just stared at him. And I'm like, Uncle, you like one shirt? I can get you another shirt, if you cold. Don't worry. And I just laughed. And then I went on break. This was about 2 hours in. I went on my little 15-minute break, and I went outside, and it's in my car, sit down and kind of just relax a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? I saw my dashboard. I keep my my medallion for St. Michael the Archangel. I'm like, I wonder. So I grab the medallion, I stick it in my pocket, and I walk back in. 15 minutes. The guy is snoring. He's out cold. The other staff comes in there, sits down, completely out cold. And so, like parents would know if you have babies, we switch very quietly, very slowly, not to make a single noise to wake him up. And so finally, I get into the chair and everything is quiet. He's snoring, he's sleeping. 5 minutes later, he wakes up again, starts doing all the ruckus again and all of that stuff. And then he looks at me and he starts calling me Michael. He looks at me, he's like, yeah, Michael? Michael, nothing. He's like, you're not Michael. Michael's nothing. Michael this. And I'm like, really? Like, my name's not Michael. You're Michael. You're Michael. You can't do anything. You're Michael. Michael's nothing. And I'm like, okay. And I simply reach into my pocket. And I just kind of, I just cup the medallion in my pocket. I don't even take it out of my pocket. he just like from lying down just goes like that, like freaks out, goes up against the wall, and like looks at me like I'm a nephma to him all of a sudden, and he's just like hissing almost kind of thing, and I'm like, Uncle, you okay? And he's like just staring at me warily, and he's like I'm gonna do something to him, and I'm just cupping the medallion in my pocket. There's no way he would have known this, and he just yeah, he does that, and slowly I let it go, put it back. He slowly goes back into the bed, starts his whole tirade again, and I grab it again, and he does the same thing. And this continues for a time. This continues for a time until it's my lunch break, or my breakfast or dinner, whatever you want to call it, because I work night shifts. So I went out, took my little lunch break, came back in, but I was sleeping, you know. Um, Of course, I walked in a little while later. He woke up. Same thing again. He's acting up. He's acting, just really bad. He's calling me Michael. He's like now I think he was like hissing at me and stuff, and he was really threatened by me. But he wasn't ever threatened by me before, and he wasn't threatened by anybody else in the state hospital that worked with him one on one. Like I would walk out of the room, and the other guy would go in to relieve me. He'd take one look at the other guy, and there were three different guys, and he'd just go right to sleep. But seeing me triggered him somehow. When I came back, I did the same thing, cupping my medallion in my pocket. That didn't work, so I took it out and I held it in my hand, and then I got the same effect, the same reaction when I took it out and held it in my hand. And that this whole process continued all night, kind of thing, until after my third break, with only a couple hours left, I actually took it out and I started showing it to him. And at that point, I guess like it seemed to me like he got used to it little by little by little. But then when I took it out and showed it to him, um, after the initial shock, he went right back to sleep, like almost instantly. Like I showed it to him and it was like it knocked him out. He woke up shortly after that again, and I'm like, this is weird. How come it didn't work this time? It didn't knock him out longer. But when he woke up this time, he was the same guy that I remembered. He was different. He still had mental health issues, but there was no Michael this, Michael that. He remembered who I was, and he was cheerful. Of course, he wanted to get up and he wanted to go into the girls' dorm because he wanted to check out the girls. I'm like, Uncle, everyone's sleeping. He's like, no, 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 it's okay. I'm just gonna go sit down, wait for them to wake up. I'm like, Uncle, until you cannot leave until 6 o'clock in the morning. You gotta stay in your room until 6. He's like, I'm just gonna go sit down. Like this is like I'm constantly all night. You gotta redirect, 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 redirect. And it was just interesting to me how that whole situation had played out. With Michael Medallion and all of that. Unfortunately, COVID hit literally right after that. And it was my complete intention to give the staff St. Michael the Archangel's medallion to hang over his bed, just to keep the bad thing away from him. Yeah. In the state hospital, in places like this, you have confusion, you have schizophrenia, you got misery, you got all of this stuff that just keeps just circulating, right? This is the kind of energy you have in these places. Just despair is a good word. Anger is a good word. Confusion, depression, like fear. All of these low vibration energies attract things that are very similar to them, such as this guy. Great picture timings, huh? Mahalo was like that when I was a patient there. It's these things, they latch onto these people and they feed off of the people. Yeah. There's one place I was told, I can't say what building it is, but I had a psychic medium tell me that she went by this building downtown that kind of has a bad reputation for occultist stuff and things like that. And what she saw is the same thing she told me that she sees at the mental hospitals and at the places like that. ATMC, how's it? Hold on. Intermission. Wow. You're driving down a road that nobody is on. You don't need your sirens on. Sorry, I'm not telling people how to do their job or anything. so weird. Scott, how's it? I'm in Kaneohe today. Um, the same, the description of the spirits and the souls that she would see in the mental hospitals were the same as this one building. Um, they look, what's the word? Emaciated. They look thin. Their cheeks are hollowed out. Their eyes are hollowed out. They look like unhealthy, like something has been feeding off of them, and they look scared. The story I told the other day to you guys about that place we went to go bless with that girl in the room. You know, that room that was locked up for years and years, almost 2 decades. Emaciated. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, not emancipated. I know that one. That's Abraham Lincoln thing. Um, how I described that, there was a girl in that room, emaciated. Thank you, Micah. I'm learning. Dehydrated looking. Yes, exactly. Uli. Hey, Brad, how's it? And so they look like that. They're being fed off of, like we talked about. These spirits, these bad ones, they feed off of this energy. They feed, and so in order to feed off of this energy, they must create this energy. And so they take these people who are already going through despair. Do you think they heal them? No. You think they help them? No. They continue. I'm laughing like the way Abraham Lincoln did. Yeah, that's how I remember stuff. Um, they that's what they do. They create this atmosphere to feed themselves, to sustain themselves, and that's kind of what you are what you eat, right? Hey, just me watching TikTok. Aloha. I do storytelling. I also do ghost hunting, but right now I do storytelling. Sometimes I get my equipment and all that, but right now I don't. Sorry, real disclaimer over here. I don't do ghost hunting because, like, I already believe in them. I kind of giggle a little bit when I meet ghost hunters, and I ask them, why are you ghost hunting? And they're like, well, I believe in ghosts, but I have to prove they're real. I'm like, then what? What happens after you prove that they're real? Then what do you do after that? We just keep looking for ghosts. And I'm like, and then what? Because there's no evidence, there's no proof. You can always say it's been faked. You can always say mass hallucinations. You can always say all of these different things, right? So it's not my job to make you guys believe in ghosts. I'm not here to prove anything to you, but I'm just here to tell stories. And I noticed that you guys enjoy the stories almost as much as the spirits, and so that's kind of why I do this. Yeah, I love storytelling too. It's a lot of fun. I can recreate my story. I can reimagine them and all of that. Night marches are real. Yes, I'm not gonna go looking for them. Thank you. Black jellyfish hanging from the ceiling. Ooh, that's a good description. Yeah, they drain their life force. Oh wow. Yeah, this kind of feels like the building I was talking about, but I can't say which. The cultist. Yeah. Cultish. So if you can imagine that kind of energy, that's kind of the energy that this place and a lot of these places are surrounded by, and it's just kind of overwhelming sometimes, and you got to protect yourself. um, that, and you pair it with the energy of the medication they're on and their mentality, and it's really fascinating to me. Like when I would work overnights and stuff, I would just usually get a book. If I had somebody good, I'd sit next to them, read my book, and then I try to write down and take notes. But I would notice that as I'm trying to write down and take notes, I can't. My brain is fuzzy. Like my brain feels numb. But then I go outside on my break and it's crystal clear. And then I go back inside and my brain is numb. It was just a weird correlation to see that, right? Way up Tantalus. Oh, Tantalus too, yeah. Codefish. Jellyfish. um, Here's another story from the state hospital. There's a bunch actually. The one that was shared with me was these two people. The unit that it was is the unit it happened in. I'm not going to name them. But the unit is where the furnace used to be. The crematory used to be. And to tell you guys, to show you guys the misery, and it's not just the living over there. The misery comes from the remains of everyone that was left over there. I don't know when Hawaii State Hospital opened up, but it wasn't the first one in Hawaii. It was like, I would say, the 1940s or 50s or so. But from that time to the 1990s, they had cremated, not just cremated, right? But when they went to look in the crematory, there were the remains of over 600, about, oh, I think they said 667 people that nobody came to claim when they died. Yeah. Night, Sandy. Imagine that. Is that not just the most depressing thing ever? Over 600 people. Just when they died, they were forgotten. Their family moved. Their family forgot about them, which happens a lot in the hospital. It's sad. I see it where like they start coming and they start coming, and visiting, but their loved one is mentally ill and they don't know who they are, and there's dementia and Alzheimer's, and they're violent, and and visiting them just leaves the family sad. So after a while, they just stop visiting. Yeah, I have a guest today, and so yeah, it's it's a sad place. There's a lot of different energies there. Um, so this happened in that unit, right? And it was always creepy. Like I got lost on my first day there looking for it, and it was just, as I said, creepy. Like I'm walking around what was a chapel, and I can feel things. And even though there's lights everywhere, it was still creepy as heck. They told me that it's our job, right? Midnight, every hour, night shift, we gotta go check. We gotta go door to door. We gotta open the door. We gotta shine the lights in their faces while they're sleeping to make sure that they're physically, bodily there, and we check them off on the paper, right? Every hour. The girls' room is closed, right? It's locked up, obviously, so nobody can sneak in at night, right? And so they have the girls' room, and the two people I was working with told me that years ago they went to do the rounds, right? And they opened the door, and the girl was sleeping on the bed. Like they shone the light, they could see her face, and they saw her sleeping on the bed, heard her snoring. And then as they turned to go out, they noticed that there was a shadow that looked exactly like her sitting at the foot of the bed, just kind of hunched over like that, glaring at them, glaring right at the door. It was a shadow with the same hair, it looked like it was her, times two, like her doppelganger or something. They didn't look in the room for the rest of the night. Yo, long time no see.
No, continue, start.
Okay, I get chair in the back if you like.
Huh?
You like
No,
chair?
no, continue, start.
Come on. Oh, hello there. Here, you can put out the chair in the back if you like sit down.
Oh, no, no, I'm good.
Okay. How's it? I stay Kaneohe tonight. There's another story as well where I went to. I was working in the geriatric unit, and this one was a unit. I had to watch the whole unit. I had to watch everybody, and this was like they had classrooms which they turned into beds. Stick like 5 or 6 beds in one, 5 or 6 beds in the other, and so I was in the middle, where all the rooms connected. It was outside, right? So it wasn't cold, and I just kind of sat down, put my feet up, pulled out my book, and started reading, and I could see everything right from that. They would have to use the bathroom. They'd have to walk into the nursing station, back into the hospital. So there's a glass door, glass windows, big glass wall, and I could see him walk over there, use the bathroom, come right back out, no problem. So one of the guys comes out, middle of the night, wakes up. I look at him. He looks at me, waves at me. I wave to him, acknowledgement. He walks over there, uses the bathroom. Okay, no problem. He's cool. I'm not worried about him. He always follows the rules. So I go over there and I'm just like, okay, cruising, reading my book. And then I see out of the corner of my eye, I see him walking out. I see the door open, the glass door open. I see the bathroom door open, the light coming from the bathroom. I see the glass door open, and he's walking out to back to the room. Then I notice he stops at the room before his room, and he opens the door. And I didn't know what was in there, right? But that wasn't his room. He opens the door, and he lets himself in. He walks right into the room, and I'm like, hey. And he look up, I'm like, hey, what you doing? Just in time to see him closing the door. Like you grab the door and you're closing him, you're holding him on the outside, and you close him, you slip your hand in real fast. That's what he did. So He was closing the door like that, real fast. And I'm like, bruh, what you doing? You know, I go over there to open him up. The door's locked. Whatever. I get the keys. I unlock the door, open it up. Nobody there. I turn on the lights. Nobody there. Just it was storage. It was just a storage room where they had all the stuff. They had all the wheelchairs, all the equipment and stuff, right? And I'm like standing at the door, looking around. There's no closet. There's nowhere for him to hide at all. And I'm just standing there looking around like, bruh, I just saw this guy walk into the room. I know directly. I looked at his hand at before it slipped in the door. And then he comes out of the bathroom. The glass door opens up behind me. He's like, "Oh, hey Joe, what you doing?" I'm like, "Thought I was looking for you." He's like, "What you mean? I just came out of the bathroom now." I'm like, "Ah, I see that." Never mind. Go back to sleep. That was cool. I enjoyed that a lot. That was cool. I caught up on my friends. I'm like, "Oh, guess what just happened?" You know. Another picture. Mm, that's a cool picture. That was cool to me. It wasn't scary. You know, what's the hand gonna do? Beckon to me. Give me a high five. You know, I like to think my thoughts all the way through, and that's kind of what keeps me from being scared. What's the ghost gonna do? Is it gonna say boo? You know, if it can grab you and it can do that kind of stuff, then you know, if it can punch you, you can punch them back. If it's physical, you can run from it too. And I'll tell you, every time something bad has happened, not being scared is what helps. Yeah. If you're scared, you lose control. The same is with the dead as it is with the living. Yes, I'm wearing a Ghostbuster shirt. There we go.
What a big delay.
Huh?
No, my phone, there's like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, it gets longer over time. Yeah.
How come you will be up there?
Because I wanted to tell stories about up there. And I,
Oh,
I can't go up there because
how
off
come you don't
limits.
go to that off trail thing?
Yeah. Well, I'm by myself.
Nobody go bother you.
Bruh, I know all the people that live over here. I know all of the people that live in the bushes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't like bother the people who live in the bushes, so I go stay by the light. If I had more people with me, if I had somebody else, maybe I would go up.
No, I
But
would have figured you would be up because that's where I would have gone to the that Comstat station.
oh, bruh, that's what a hike. I gotta work tomorrow.
It's not that. It's like walking up this road.
Huh?
It's like walking up this road.
Yeah, I'm good. This thing's like 20 pounds. I want to go there though. I told my son I want to go
What's
there.
20 pounds? Your
Thi-
rig?
This thing here.
Why?
It has all my batteries, all my chargers, all my lights, a whole bunch of stuff that I don't use every night.
That's why you leave
Yeah,
it in
that's
your
Jubu.
car.
Yeah. Travel light, I know. Yeah.
So when you run, you don't have to worry about leaving your shit.
Nah, I'll grab it
your
tomorrow.
camera and go.
I'm not gonna go on one hike when I gotta work in the morning.
Oh,
But yeah, if you know where that is, you gotta show me where that is. I know.
It's the same. It's the same. You know, to get the Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
It's the same road, but the only difference is instead of taking that off thing to the left, you just continue on the road.
I've never been Stairway to Heaven.
Okay, I don't know nothing about Stairway
Yeah,
to
me too.
Heaven.
Yeah, none of us do. Do I know the story about Kipapa Bridge? Are you talking about the Kaupe, the half man, half dog? I told that story last week.
The other night.
Yeah, the other night. Have you heard of a tall shadow with a tall height? But the time you don't bring the watch, that's when you need it. Have you heard of a tall shadow with a tall hat? Me and my cousin saw it in my auntie's white Paul house. Yeah, you're talking about Hat Man. Sometimes wears a black trench coat. Sometimes has a black little stovetop hat. Sandy. Yeah, that one. Jackie Castro, the Shadow Man. Yeah. Jubu, leave your camera. Matt.
Don't leave your camera with me around. Away, I'll go take them.
No, the Hat Man is usually, I believe the Hat Man's more of a watcher, and it's funny because that's actually kind of the same. They're seen over there too at the state hospital. I always picture that they always have like a stovetop hat or a fedora or some kind of fancy hat, and it's just a black shadow, and they usually are standing off in the distance, just looking, not interacting, just watching. I picture that as my friend Uncle Ruben. You saw them on your, you saw Pac-Man on your window, Sandy? No. They usually, yeah, they hang up by your window and they look in. I have an Uncle Ruben who's a Native American elder. You know, Native American, he get the cowboy hat, you know, that kind of stuff. What was that?
Somebody laughing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Nah, that's a person.
Okay, okay, right on. I thought that was you. I'm like,
No,
oh,
no.
why are you all giggly for, bro?
Well, if I laugh in, then I laugh into something for real. Hey,
Um,
where's the triangle park you guys are talking about? I thought the only triangle park on the island is in Kahala.
Bruh, any park that's shaped like one triangle, I call Triangle Park.
No, there's an actual name called Triangle. When you go to the sign, it says Triangle Park,
Oh, I don't know.
and it's in Kahala.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah. There's one in Kailua.
Alright, I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's not called Triangle Park, but I call it Triangle Park. Yeah, no, we good. We good over here. Um, so Uncle Ruben would always wear the hat, right? The cowboy hat, and he's a shaman, and so he kind of watches. Yeah, by your house. He kind of sits and just watches the other side. He watches the spirits because he's a shaman. Um, and I kind of see the Hat Man like that. They're watchers. They don't interact. They're just observing what's going on and that kind of stuff too. It's like the Shadow People realm have their equivalent of us. The Shadow People realm, they have their shaman equivalents, their priest equivalents, and all of that good stuff, right? So they're watching us, and our shaman are watching them. That's kind of how I see it. I'm not 100% sure, and it might not be that way all the time, but yeah. Yeah, skinwalkers. Yeah, I'm glad we don't have to worry about skinwalkers or coyotes or that kind of stuff over here in Hawaii. Let's see. Oh, another interesting picture. I love these pictures. They're so colorful.
That's
Um,
just me. I did that on
yeah, yeah. I get the same one. Yeah, about Kamehameha preschool. Yeah. Um, what's going on? I don't know. There was other. Let's see, other state hospital stories. I got. I mean, there's always a bunch of them. I can't really remember them right now per se, but there were. I have a lot of other stories about the group homes I did because I was at the group homes a lot longer than the state hospital. Yeah, Arthur, how's it from Pahoa? I'm not Hawaiian, but met a spirit at the Pali Overlook. Yep, Polynesian Hawaiian with a cape and helmet. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's probably a warrior. They're known to be up there as well. You know, because to get the battle and stuff. We're gonna go to the Pali sometime next week, probably earlier, so we're not, you know, so we can respect the closing rules as much as we can. You know, maybe not exactly to the T, but yeah. I don't like bottle the cops when they come up over there to close off. Yeah, I don't want to have them wait for me. You know what I mean? It's got to be polite to them.
right now.
Huh?
They don't. This month they don't.
Oh, they're not gonna close them off. Sweet.
Yeah, they don't.
I gotta bring my Starlink because at the lookout, no more reception.
Ah, go Verizon. Get reception.
Bruh, I'm not going for okay. Let me go store tomorrow. I will switch all my devices to Verizon.
You guys
I know Big Island Verizon is good too.
Yeah.
T-Mobile, no more nothing up.
I have
Honoka.
Signal at Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you get
Kalapana. Hey, Shay from Kalapana. How's it? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to Pali next week. Every night we're going to do ghost stories at haunted places and all that kind of stuff for the home month. So enjoy. I also got the kind Facebook and TikTok. Facebook is where everything saves. I haven't figured out how to access the save videos on TikTok yet, but everything that I did this month is on YouTube, not Facebook. YouTube. Yeah. Hawaiian hauntings. Yeah. The locked door story, Joe. Oh, yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. No, no stories about that side yet that I know of. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that story. I'll share another story too about that later this month though. That's a house in Kaneohe, a group home that I used to work at that had 7 individuals that lived there. It's always fun. I mean, it was always interesting. It's always a challenge, and that's what I consider fun. No, 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 no. You're good. You're good. Yeah. No, I'm thinking about the hospital. I cannot think of any other stories from the hospital, but the group homes I get plenty. Um. Oh, that's cool. And
A good spot.
yeah, man, get people right on. Yeah. Sorry, distracting. People distracting. Um. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. We had investigated this house a few times because I worked at another house for the most of the time, and this one was a more difficult house where people literally came right out of the hospital and they would go into that house, and if they were bad, we'd send them back. If they weren't stable, we'd send them back, and so we'd have to determine whether they were okay or not. And usually there's a lot of interesting things that happen to determine that. But then when they were good for a couple years, maybe they would go to the next house that I worked at. And so the next house was more stable, but it was still a 24-hour home, right? So as we would talk, because we're all in the same company, we would switch shifts and all that. And talking with one of the ladies that would work at that other home in Kaneohe, she said that it's fall time, September time, she'd always see, like, in the daytime, everybody leave the house, they go to their programs, they go to all their stuff, nobody's home. And then she would always see a woman. The office is on the second floor, and she'd see a woman in the second floor, in the living room, walk down the hallway towards the bedrooms. And a couple times she looks up and she's like, "Who the hell is this lady?" Right? So she go follow the lady, and the lady walks down the hallway and takes a right, going to the last bedroom on the right. Even if the door's closed, she walks right through the door. And at that point, she's like, "Oh my god!" And so she knew I did the ghost tours prior to that. She was asking me about that and if I could check it out and all of that kind of stuff. So we did go over there. We did an investigation. It was really interesting, but we didn't really find out what had happened or why it had happened. We just had some cool things happen. Like we tried to cross over the spirit and all of that kind of stuff. We tried to find out who she was, but there was no recordings. There was nothing that happened. I did find where she lived, though. She did live. She lived under the stairs. The spirit was bound under the stairs, or stayed under the stairs. Maybe she wasn't bound. Um, where all the Halloween decorations were and all the Christmas decorations were. So whenever they would take out those decorations, she would come out with them, right? And like, so I went down under the stairs and I went to go cross her over. I'm sitting down there, my 2 coworkers are upstairs, and all of a sudden, like, I'm praying and I light a candle and I'm praying that she crosses over, and then I ask for a sign. I notice that the Hawaiian spirits give me a sign, usually weather based. Uh, Big strong wind come and blow by, temperature drops or temperature goes up by more than 10 degrees, that kind of stuff. But then when I asked for a sign, the whole house started shaking. It sounded like a 747 flew right above the house, real low. The whole house started shaking. The windows were shaking, the floors were shaking, the stairs were shaking, and I'm like, wow, thanks for that sign. It's just, it happened right as I asked it. I'm like, if this woman had crossed over, please give me a sign. And then boom, everything started shaking. So I run upstairs. I'm like, bro, guess what happened? They're like, what? What happened? I'm like, oh, so when the whole house started shaking, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, like 1 minute ago, the house was shaking. They're like, no, we didn't hear anything. And I'm like, bruh, the stairs were shaking, the windows were shaking. It sounded like when 747 jet just flew directly over that. They're like, we didn't hear anything, Joe. Both of them were talking. They heard nothing on the second floor. That was really, really weird. But the cool part of the story was about a year later, right? I had a coworker who worked the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift. And so instead of going back to West Side when he lived, when he works in Kaneohe, he'd just sleep overnight because he, leave at 6 p.m., go back over to Makakilo, and then come back to Kaneohe at 6 a.m. That's stupid. So he'd just go crash on the couch, yeah, that night. And he was real paranoid. He was like, this kind of looks like him too, actually. He was kind of paranoid that he'd get busted, that the boss would stop off at 2 o'clock in the morning, that kind of stuff. Um, so he locked all the doors, and me, I don't usually lock the doors. I don't ever not feel safe in that house. So I would rather, if they're there on their own free will. If they're gonna run away, they're gonna run away. It's not my problem. I can't stop them. But my other coworker, the other one that worked when I didn't, she would always lock all the doors. And so Andrew, the guy, my coworker, was telling me, he was kind of joking around, I think, a little bit. But what's he doing that? Anyway, he would always joke around with me. I'm getting the events a little bit mixed up on how this happened, but I know for certain. Try to stick to become a little bit more accurate. Yeah. Um, that night, he went to sleep on the couch right in front of the office. We talked story till like, I don't know, 9 or 10, and then he went around and locked all the doors. And I'm like, bro, what are you locking all the doors for? He's like, oh, I don't like the kind come over here and wake me up. I'm gonna get busted. And I'm like, nah, dude, you're fine. He's like, nah, I'm gonna lock the doors anyway. So there was a door on the second floor, right by the office, right directly across by the kitchen. Yeah. And so we waited. Maybe he was sleeping maybe an hour or so, and then I could hear somebody knock on the door. And I'm like, oh, he would jump up. He's like, oh, oh crap, that's the boss. Oh no, just tell the boss that you called me because you needed help with something. And then I didn't get to the door in time, so after the knocking on the door, I heard the door handle start jiggling and somebody trying to open the door, like force it open. And I'm like, bro, what the hell? So I'm like, I'm coming, relax, you know what I mean? And I walk over there and I open up the door and there's nobody there. And I'm like, there's nobody there. Hey, Britt, how's it? Like, what the heck? I'm looking around. I look down the stairs. I look up the stairs. I look up. I look everywhere. There's nobody there. The door was literally pounding, and as soon as I open it up, nothing, nobody, as far as the eye can see. And the house is on a hill. So I went back to my coworker Andrew and I'm like, bro, there was nobody over there, bro. He's like, what? Who was that? I'm like, dude, that was nobody. He's like, oh, damn, that's right. It must have been the ghost then. I'm like, the ghost? What you mean the ghost? He's like, oh yeah, so and so. What's her face? I'm not gonna say her name. The other coworker. She always locks the doors every night. She always locks the doors because she's afraid that somebody's gonna come in, not come out. She's afraid one of the past residents is gonna have a schizophrenic episode and forgot that they don't live there anymore and try to break into the house or come into the house in the middle of the night. And I'm like, it happened? She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Every time she locks the door, something always comes and knocks on the door, pounds on the door, that kind of stuff. She kind of ignores it already because she knows it's not anybody there. But yeah, and I'm like, that's cool. I didn't ever test that theory again when I was by myself because I didn't really want to. But every time you lock the doors at night, the door would like the door handle would jiggle. Somebody would come knocking on the door. I went further and I contacted my supervisor and I asked her if she could investigate past to see if there was ever a death in the house. I told her, you don't need to tell me names. I understand HIPAA. I understand all of that. And so she gave me a call about a week or two later, and she told me she actually found out that there was a death in the house. And I'm like, really? She said, yeah. There was a lady that lived on the second floor, all the way far back to the hallway to the right. That was her room. She had a heart attack. And I'm like, oh wow, that's the room that she's seen going into. My boss is like, what? She didn't really even know what was going on. I just said, oh, could you find someone that died in there, that kind of thing. She's the one that taught me don't ask, don't tell kind of thing, right? So don't give away too much information. At that time, she said that right across the hallway, her room was on the right. Right across from her room on the left is a double room now, right? Where you have two residents staying there. But prior to that, it was a live-in workplace, and so the staff would live there in the double bedroom with the bathroom attached. That was staff's room, staff's office, and the room. And so what would happen that night was well, that day, well, she was in the room. It was a weekend. She was sleeping in the room. She woke up. She had a heart attack, and so she ran to get the staff to call 911. But the staff went out for lunch. The staff wasn't home, and so she died knocking on the door, pounding on the door, trying to get the staff's attention. Yeah, and she still comes back. That's why I never let go back over there. It's coming from the tennis courts, man. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you get all the drama and yeah, yeah. I don't like let that kind of energy back in. But yeah, that was one of the cool stories. There was a guy who was interesting. That same house, I'm thinking about it. Never a dull moment, exactly. Oh, get action. Yeah, I know. Some people scared ghosts, bro. Go throw salt and tea leaf at that lady over there and see what happens. Um, we had a gentleman who was there for doing very bad things back in the 80s. Um, unaliving some people. He, when I worked in there, he had already been in the system for 30 years. And he was probably, I would say, one of the nicest people I've ever met. This guy was genuine. Hey, Anna, aloha. This guy was genuine. This guy was just super, super nice. Older gentleman, loved to play the guitar, very much in the church. You know, he did everything he could to help the church out, all of that stuff. And 30 years, you go to jail. You don't go to jail, but you do something, you unalive somebody, you don't get off scot-free. If you are found to be insanity, you just kind of recycle through the programs again and again and again. So he was always just a really sweet guy. I'd come over, he'd come over, and I'd come into work. Hi, Joe, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. So good to see you. And I'm like, hey, how have you been? How was your day? Oh, my day was fantastic. I told somebody hi. I got everything I needed to get done. I've been compliant and drug free. Life is fantastic. And, that's the kind of guy he was all the time, except for a very small percentage of the time. So I go up to I see him. I'm like, hey, you never take your meds yet? You like take your meds? He turns around, looks at me. His eyes are completely black, no whites, just everything is black. Of course, ask away. Eyes are completely black, and he just stares at me. He's like, yeah. And then he starts swearing, "F you, get out of here, leave me alone." And I'm like, you okay? What's going on? Nothing. Well, turns around, storms off to the room, slams the door. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? He comes out maybe 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour later, back to normal. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I wasn't in a good mood. I don't know what came over me, but I'm sorry that I yelled at you and sweared at you. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I'll take my meds now. Thanks for reminding me. And I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm okay now. Thank you. What the hell was that? So I asked my coworker. My coworker laughs. He's like, "Oh yeah, 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 that happens. Just make sure all the knives are hidden when his eyes turn black, or the scissors, and he doesn't have anything sharp around him." I'm not sure if I can help you there, Kamaka and Ja, but you can ask. Maybe somebody else here knows. And so it was just. I asked his case manager. I talked to the case manager. I'm like, "Hey, I told her, is there any kind of medical side effects that might cause this?" She's like, "Cause what?" I'm like, "Well, so and so. I saw him the other day where his eyes were completely black and his personality completely changed. Is this a medical thing? Is this a side effect from his medications or a combination thereof?" And she's like, "Oh my God, you saw that too?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Thank you. I'm not going crazy. The doctors don't believe me." I asked the doctors. She asked the doctors the same question. The doctors that give the medicine, and they said, "No, that's impossible. There's no side effects like that. that would kind of do that with the medications that he was taking. And they thought she was just seeing things. And she's like, I've seen it a few times, Joe. And his whole personality changes and he becomes almost evil, yeah? And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. You know, it just kind of, things can come over you, yeah? It's always a struggle. And people who are always struggling, well, I mean, they're going to always need the support, yeah? And always a positive reinforcement and all of that stuff, too, yeah? So all we can do is be there to help them when they, be there to help them when they fall down and make sure you don't get stabbed, yeah? What's your question, bro? Or ma'am, or, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're, yeah. Sounds like domestics. Good thing get Jubu here, yeah.
Nah, should be Mac though. I told him. The ghost will touch him. That's why he also off. He's like,
Oh
I
no.
told you the ghost will touch him.
Oh no. Where do you work? Now I work at an alarm company, but before I used to work at the state hospital and then group homes. Mental health kokua, steadfast housing, all of that good stuff. Hey V, how's it? How's it? Juvu get his shocker.
Yeah, I scared the, the first bath. They were over there. They
Huh?
heard it and they walked away.
Yeah. Oh, you would ask about. I saw the title was a bit about scary stories, and I wanted to ask if you knew any of Kahuna Ana Ana and the practices of Kuahu. I'm not sure what Kuahu is. Oh, for real, Anna. That's cool. I used to work there nighttime, but I stopped when COVID came. I was still ultras, so I wasn't really a state employee yet, but I was working on my way. Um, I know Ana Ana is one of the more of the darker kind of things in the Hawaiian spirituality. You have the kahuna the kahuna la'aulapa'au, the ones that tend to the plants and make medicinal healing herbs, and the ana ana are the ones that can make fireballs and send them against you or other people. The ana ana are the ones that can pray maggots into the living flesh of their victims, kill people with prayer, basically that kind of thing. Yeah. Um, I also know on that it's two sides to the same coin. If you the ana ana is the person that you go to stop these things from happening, because in order to help somebody, in order to restore life, you must know how to take one in the same way, right? And so the ana ana aren't always dark and bad. The ana ana have they're complex, but um I know I have had ancestors that used to do that stuff as well. Um, yeah, just be with that kind of stuff. You just got to be careful with what you're saying, with what you say. Yeah. Sorry, this is not a dating club. Yeah, I don't like to talk too much about ana ana because it's kind of I don't like that kind of energy around me. Yeah, yeah, no worry, no worry. Um, If I can find the book later on, I'll go ahead and read one of the stories. There's one interesting book about that kind of stuff. Curses and Obake Files, Tales from the Dark Side of the Cabinet by Glenn Grant. It has at least one, maybe two stories about that kind of stuff. Aloha, how's it? How's it? Ooh, my grandma used to practice ana ana. Ugh. That see, in Hawaii they're called the Hawaiians. It kind of was interpreted as Kahuna of the Axe. When these kahuna, the ana ana, the ones that did the bad stuff, when they died, um, their bones would be scattered in the sun to be bleached. Even if you bury them, dogs will dig them up. And that's like the ultimate desecration, right? The dogs will dig up the bones and leave them scattered and bleaching in the sun as a sign of disrespect further. What you reap, you sow, right? So, yeah. Oh, no worry, no worry. Aole pilikia. Um, here's a story as well where I mean there was a story. There was a house in what's that place called right outside Waikiki? Kaimuki. How come I cannot say Kaimuki tonight?
Oh, you said a lot last
Huh?
night. Kaimuki.
Huh?
You said a lot because last night.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But I couldn't even think of the word Kaimuki. I'm like Kapoke Maki. But what the hell's going on, bro? This one was. I think there was an old Japanese lady that used to work. They used to live in one of these group homes. Um, it was like I only worked there a couple times. Like the office was like seconds away from. Sorry, getting distracted here. The office was seconds away from the living room. Like, so 10 o'clock at night, everybody got to go bed, lights out. So everyone goes to bed, turn off the TV, they go sleep, and they're all good. This is a semi-independent, right? It's not really a 24-hour too much. But so then like a little while later, I hear the TV turn back on. So I run over there and I look, nobody watching TV. So I boom, turn the TV off. Go back into the room. A couple minutes later, TV comes back on again. And I look, it's playing one of the Korean dramas, one of the Korean drama stuff that my grandma used to watch. And I'm like, well, so I say loudly, I'm like, hey, it's bedtime already. I know you guys messing with me, like whoever's doing this cannot. It's bedtime. Gotta go sleep already. Turn off the TV. Then I go back into the room and then I hear furniture being moved around. And I'm like, I hear like tables, like the big wooden table being dragged across the room and the chairs being dragged, like real loud. And I run out to look and nothing happened. Everything is back to the same. There's nobody there. The furniture didn't move an inch. Like, the hell's going on? Go back in the room, TV turns on again. And I'm like, you know what, maybe this is something else. Actually, I think I went outside for a smoke break and then I came back in and the TV was on. And I'm like, okay, I think there's somebody else here because this is not people anymore. So I went over there and I'm like, okay, Auntie, just turn them off when you're done. You can watch your show. Sorry, I never mean to scold you. You can watch your show, but just turn them off when you pow. And no, turn them on too loud. People are trying to sleep, and I just left it on. And before everybody got up, it turned off by itself. I guess Auntie went to sleep. Annette, how's it? How's it? Aloha. Classic ghostly shenanigans. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Mike's. How's it? How's it? Aloha, everybody. There was one. I mean, it was weird because okay, yeah, this is a good story too. Another Michael the Archangel story because I really enjoy this. We had a gentleman that was at one of the houses where the people who came out of the state hospital would go into the house, and it was a little bit more of it's a little bit more of a high maintenance place. I'll tell you one ghost story, and then I'll tell you another story that kind of to me it was one of my good stories. Nothing ghostly about at all about it, but it was a lesson that I had learned and a lesson too that I want to share. But for the ghost story, there was this guy who, real nice guy, recovering addict, dual diagnosis like everybody else there, and just a nice guy. He was doing really well. He was doing good, and I forgot how the conversation started, but he came up to take his meds, and that's right. I always talk story with them, yeah. And so I like to like people, right? So me and this guy, we had a good rapport. He was wearing a long sleeve shirt. I gave him his meds, and I'm like, "Hey, how come you wearing a long sleeve shirt? Hot tonight, bro." He's like, "Oh yeah, I know it's hot, but and I'm just kind of ragging on him." He's like, "Oh, I think it's comfortable," and I'm just ragging on him. I can tell he's uncomfortable. I'm like, bruh, why are you wearing a long sleeve shirt? What, you trying to hide one new tattoo you got or what? That kind of stuff. And I'm ragging on him and I'm ragging on him and he's just kind of like getting more embarrassed. And I'm like, there's something that's not right because he's not really shooting back like he usually does. And he's like, I'm like, are you okay or what? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no, you're not. What's going on? Tell me. He's like, he hesitates. He's like, if I tell you, you have to promise to keep this between us. I'm like, is it bad? He's like, no, but nobody will believe me. I told him, well, I promise to do whatever I can, but if it's something that's affecting your health and something you might die from, then I'm going to have to tell somebody. As it is now, I'm concerned about you, and that's going to be going in the notes unless you tell me what's going on. He's like, okay, and he pulls up his, I think he takes off his shirt and he shows like on his arm there are these bruises, and there are these bruises and stuff on his arm, and I'm like, are you doing self harm? He's like, no, but that's what I'm afraid that my case manager is gonna think, my psychiatrist, they're gonna think that I'm doing self harm and all of this kind of stuff. Hey, Christine, how's it? Aloha. And he's like, I'm not doing self harm. I'm like, okay, well, explain. He's like, I don't know. I wake up and there's this pain, and all of a sudden my arm is sore. He said in his bed, like something will grab his arm and throw it up against the corner of the bed, and all kinds of things would happen. He's like, it's kind of scary in my room at nighttime. And I'm like, I know your room is scary. It's pitch black. You're right up against the mountains. There's no light whatsoever in your room. I understand it's scary. He's like, I think there's something there. And I'm like, I understand. Thank you. He's like, well, what can I do, Joe? And I'm like, you know what I can do? Hold on, let me get something for you. Hold on. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility. What does that mean? I don't know. You guys still there on TikTok? That's weird. I think I said a bad word. Self, Harm.
What? Self-harm? Yeah, you have to say self-harm if you're saying.
That's what I said. But then I got a message
That's
pop up.
legal.
Huh?
That's legal TikTok, maybe.
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Either that or somebody reported you talking about the subject.
Well, I'll continue. It's not like I'm monetized anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, so I print out a prayer for this guy. It's the prayer to Michael the Archangel. And he really, really liked the prayer. So I printed it. I told him Michael the Archangel. I explained to him Michael the Archangel is the one who defeated the devil, cast him down into hell. Um, I'm going to read some of these comments after. They look really good. Um, and I gave it to him. I even put it in one of those the little plastic paper protectors, and I gave it to him. And I gave him a piece of tape to put it on his wall, or maybe it was a pin, a thumbtack or something, right? So he put it over his bed when he slept, and he was happy, and he was happy to go to sleep, right? He was excited, and middle of the night, maybe about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, he comes out of his room. He's like, Joe. He's like, Joe. I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? What's going on? You sleeping good? He's like, well, I was, but you need to come and see this. And I'm like, you're right, everything's going good. He's like, yeah, just come and look at this. And so I walk in, and I can hear something moving on the wall. I shine the light on. I keep the light off. I shine my flashlight. Something is tugging at the paper on the wall. It's there on the wall by itself, and it's just hanging down. You got the plastic protect. It's trying to pull the corner of the paper out from the plastic that it's hanging on the wall. And I look at him, and he's looking at me.
Can you buy a cigar any chance? Buy a cigar? Oh, these are cigars. Oh, cigars? Yeah, you
Oh,
want
no,
one?
just a moment.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he looks at me, and he's just kind of like wide-eyed, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm just watching something try to pull the prayer off of the wall, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. And he kind of takes after my reaction. If I was like, oh my God, that's creepy, he's gonna be scared. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. I'm like, watch this, and then I say the Lord's Prayer, and he joins me with the Lord's Prayer, and it stops, and it hangs. And I'm like, well, let me know if you have any troubles for the rest of the night, but whatever it is, it's gone. This thing doesn't like this, and it definitely didn't like the Lord's Prayer. Me and you combined was too much for it, so it's gone now. And it left him alone for the rest of the night. I know for a fact that a lot of people that have mental issues have abilities. Yeah, that's why we're crazy. Yep, you're absolutely correct. Something tried to rip it off, yeah. You're absolutely correct. A lot of people have abilities, and those are some of the stories I'm going to share later. These are ones that turned into when people have a psychic ability, when people are strong, sometimes they can see ghosts and it's scary. Sometimes they can see things and all of this stuff and they don't want to. And so they turn to alcohol and they turn to drugs to numb it. And then they do it so much that they get schizophrenic or they get brain damage and that makes them schizophrenic and all of that kind of stuff. It's much more than this is your brain on drugs. You know, it's like when you do illegal substances too much, it alters the chemistry of your brain, and so then your brain doesn't work the way that it usually does, right? And that's when things start to happen. And as I said, I got some stories I'm going to share a little bit closer to Halloween about how when those kind of things turn into potential possession cases. Yeah, I might even have the guts to play one of the recordings for you guys. We'll see. Um, Troy, what'd you say? There was a room where ghost kids would watch. Oh yeah, thank you. That reminded me. Sesame Street and the tantrum if the TV was turned off or locked the adults out of the room. That's awesome. State Hospital. I just remembered the story. Yeah, they had the security guards. I had all the stories the security guards would share with me. Um, very often they would be chased as they're walking through the fields. I'll warn you guys if I do the recording and all of that. Hey, Miss Bernie, how's it? Thank you. Um, they would be walking through the field, and then they would hear heavy boots behind them, like running behind them. Sometimes it'll run right by them, but they'll see nothing at all. There was one especially where I guess they had the people. They were all situated in different buildings, security, and they would patrol. And they had one security that would be at the cameras, looking at all the cameras. And so, at one of the units that I worked at, he would one night this guy told me he looked in it and he saw the two of the staff members sitting on the couch watching TV at 1 o'clock in the morning, and then he saw maybe about 4 or 5 or 6 of the patients sitting on the floor watching TV too. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, so he calls the security guard and he's like, "Hey, you need to go to blah 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 unit, and you need to tell them they gotta tell them go sleep. They cannot watch TV. It's 1 o'clock in the morning." The staff can, but the patients cannot. They get programmed. They get all that kind of stuff tomorrow, right? So security walks by. Okay, okay, I got it. 10-4, walks into the camera. The security is standing behind the guys in the camera talking to the staff. And he just sees them talking to the staff in the camera. Then he calls back on the radio. He's like, all right, looks like they went to bed already. And the guy watching the camera is like, no, I see them right now. There's 5 or 6 of them sitting down. I can't remember the number he said, but he's like, they're sitting down right now and they're moving around and they're fidgeting. They're sitting on the floor right now at their feet watching. Like, he's like, you need to tell them to go to sleep. And the security guard calls back. He's like, hey, brother, I'm right here. I see everybody over here. There's nobody on the ground. He's like, no, BS. You got to look. They're right on the ground. I can see them right now. They're right there. You need to tell them to go to sleep. Getting kind of pissed off already, right? He's like, bro, there's nothing here. They called the boss. The boss lived in the real right by the hospital, so he came over there. He looked in the camera. This is how long it happened. He looked in the camera room. He's like, you see people? He's like, yep. He talked to the guy, the security guard. He's like, is there anybody there? No, boss. There's nobody here. He's like, never mind. And he just walked out and went back home, went to sleep. you know. It's like he's like, nope. I don't believe in ghosts. No such thing as ghosts. Never mind. I'm not gonna deal with this. Good night. But yeah, we called that guy the chief. He was the chief of, I think, his village in Tonga. I think it was refugee. I love spooky stories. It's currently 12:30 here in Washington. Well, good morning in Washington. Sorry. And if you guys are wondering what this thing is over here, I show a picture every now and then. This will generate a random picture sometimes. And so whenever random pictures come, I show you guys. Every now and then, like, I was telling a story. The other night, I reached the part where I said, and then there were flowers. And then flowers appeared on this right before I said that. And I loaded when I said there's flowers. That was cool. You know. Okay, this was another one too. it's as always. I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna forget so many stories when I'm on my way home, and I'll be like, damn, I should have shared that one. Dang, I should have shared that one. So I might share some more of these stories tomorrow night. One of the stories I wanted to share, though, the one that's not really a ghost story, happened, and it taught me a lot. Um, you have these moments, and I blame it on my guardian angels and blah blah blah, because I get divine inspiration sometimes where I don't even know what I'm talking about, but the words are coming out my mouth. There was a gentleman who was about my age, and he was schizophrenic, just really bad voices and all that. And so I'm sitting down, and all of a sudden I hear him yell, and then I hear this loud crash, and I run outside to see. This is one Hawaiian brother. He had the broom in his hand, and he tried to throw the broom at one of the other residents, like a spear, like that, like phew, went right through the screen, everything, you know. And he starts yelling, "Yeah, talking about me, huh? You're talking about me. I'll get you next time," and blah blah blah, and all of this. And I'm like, the other resident is just like confused and scared, like, what did I do? And so the other staff runs over, and I'm like, you take the one that got the spear thrown at him, the broomstick. I'll deal with the guy in the back. I take him to the backyard. Hey, brother, let's go smoke. Let's go smoke a cigarette. What's going on? I approach him. He's all like pissed off. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what went on? He's like, that guy, the guy talking about me. He's talking about me. I can hear him talking about me. He's laughing at me. He's calling me names. He's saying all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, that's your friend, first of all. I'm like, do you think that it's him talking to you? Do you think he said that? Or do you think it's the voices in your head? He's like, it's probably the voices in my head. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what do you want to do? He's like, I think I should tell him I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but I'm evil. And then he starts laughing like an evil laughter. He's like, I'm evil. I'm bad. I'm wicked. I do bad things. I'm a bad guy. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. And all I do is bad things. And so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to kill somebody pretty, like that kind of thing just going off. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, what do you mean? No, I'm not. I'm like, oh, I asked you what you wanted to do. And the first thing you said was apologize to him. Yeah, so I'm like, so you're not a bad person. But I attacked him. I'm like, you made a bad choice, but you're not a bad person. You just made a mistake. You're a good person that made a bad mistake. He was like, what? I'm like, yeah, everybody makes mistakes, but you want to apologize and make it better. He's like, yeah, I do. I feel bad. He's my friend, and I don't want to hurt him. I'm like, because you're a good guy. He's like, you really believe that? I'm like, of course. Why wouldn't I? He's like, and I could see the brain, the cogs in his head turning, and he's like, that one conversation changed everything. Everything. His voices got better. He moved out to another house after that. He was always happy after that. Years later, I ran into him at the state hospital. He comes up, gives me a hug. He's like, Joe, so good to see you, Joe. I'm so glad that he hugged me, because a lot of people that I see back at the state hospital are usually on something else, and so it's not really, yeah, they don't really, yeah, remember me too much or too good. But he came out, gave me a hug, and he's like, Joe, and like he gave me a hug, and the staff started running at him like, oh, he was gonna tackle me, right? But I'm like, no, 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 it's okay. I know this guy, and I talked to him. I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? Why are you back at the hospital? You and mess up again, huh? He's like, no, 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 I didn't. I ran away from home. I'm like, why'd you run away from home? He's like, Joe, I've been clean and sober. I haven't used for years. Since we talked, I haven't used anything. I've been clean and sober, but I had to leave the house. So I had to run away because it was a bad house. And I'm like, what house were you at? He named the house. I'm not going to say where, in this company that I'm not going to say who. But he told me they kept stealing his EBT. They kept stealing his things. They kept going into his room, taking his clothes, taking his money. And I knew that for a fact, that program, that house, the staff would do it too. Not just the other residents, but the staff would go through it too and take that. It was on the west side, I can say that much. And so I believed him when he said that. But he was just a completely different person. I had known him for about a year before that, and he was the same baseline, kind of would snap and then feel bad, but then snap again, and then feel bad, and all of that stuff too. So I've always liked that story. That was always a good story, and I'd like to share that one as well. Not really a ghost story, but yeah, just you don't know how much you can change someone's life just by talking to them, right? Ooh, wake up with bruises. That's no good. I've had a few cases. Kunia. I've had a couple. I had a case in Kunia where that happened too. I cannot say where though. Actually, I don't remember where. It was like a while back. Um, all right, one more story, and then I think I'm gonna head out or hang out, and we can talk a little bit more if you guys want or ask questions, that kind of thing, because it's always good. I always enjoy that. Um, this one involves the movie The Exorcist. This story taught me a lot. So at the house that I worked at, this was the one that was the higher maintenance one. We, me and me and my other coworker, he was a real quiet guy. Never got to work with him very much. Ex-military, don't say much. Barely says anything, which is really awkward because you're working on a 12-hour shift and your desk is facing him and he's facing you for the entire 12 hours. But brother don't say nothing the whole time, right? Okay, TikTok working again, right on. Um, so I'm looking at him, he's looking at me the whole time, 12 hours, nobody say anything. We had it that way for safety because the door was right behind us, right? The office area was also the common area where the TV was, where the tables were, where the fridge was, and it's in the garage, the shared driveway. I wouldn't even call it a garage. It had a little hill that sloped down like a garage does, so our rolling chairs would always just kind of slowly slide down to the bottom. Hey Melissa, how's it? And Jennifer, aloha, how's it? And so we would yeah, so yeah, we would watch movies when they go to bed at 10 o'clock. We were there until 6 in the morning. So I brought a movie that I had never seen before, The Exorcist. And I told him, I'm like, hey, look what I brought, kind of joking, yeah, because I know he's one scaredy cat. So he said, like 1 o'clock in the morning comes, he's like, hey, why don't you put on that movie? I'm like, he's like, you brought a movie, yeah? I'm like, oh, for real, you want to watch the movie? He's like, yeah, put it on. So I put on the movie. And now we're sitting down, the TV is like, here's my desk, here's his desk. The TV is here, down the driveway. And there's like, just like, it's all enclosed, but there's windows. There's like screen windows surrounding the whole place. Yeah. And the two doors behind us, and behind the doors there's the houses. And so we're watching the movie, and then one of the scary moments, I'm looking. Are you meowing?
Yeah.
Okay. That came from you. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. No, but there's trying to bring that cat
okay, okay. So I'm sitting down and watching the movie. I'm like, right there's the TV, and there's my coworker, and so I'm turning and I'm watching the TV, and I see this white figure, about 6 feet tall, walk out of the house behind my coworker, and then walk along the side of the screen window and disappear. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw it. And I'm like, bro, somebody's up in your house. They just left. Boom, we're up. Me, I'm up. I walk around. I'm looking for this guy. It was a person. Clearly, it was a person. I walk up. I walk behind him. I'm walking around the area, and I notice that the door's still closed. He's like, no, nobody came out. He's like, nobody came out. I'm like, how you know? He's like, because I locked the door. That's why. I'm like, I'm not supposed to lock the door, bro. He's like, I locked the door. They're not gonna sneak up on me. I'm like, all right, all right. And I'm like, but I saw somebody walk out. And I described it, 6 feet tall, white, like the light hitting somebody. And so like, okay, whatever. And we continued watching the movie, and then right at the ending part where it was like reaching its crescendo, it got even scarier. Like it was scary. And now we're sitting down, and just you can see the whole driveway, right? The ending of the driveway, because all the screens are there. No more windows, nothing attached to it. You can see straight through the screens. And so we're watching the TV, and clear as day, that same 6 foot tall white figure walks from the left to the right, going behind the TV this time, and continuing on. And I look at him and I'm like, bro, tell me you didn't see that. Tell me you didn't see that. Boom, turns the TV off. grabs his laptop, and ignored me for the rest of the night. I got up and I'm running around the house. I'm looking for this person, and I'm like, "Brah, what the hell?" You know what I mean? I'm looking at walking around. I'm like, "Dude, there's nobody there." Nope, he didn't even look up. Like, dude, there's nobody there. You want to come look with me? Nope. He don't even say a word. He just head down, typing something, typing something, typing something. I'm like, "Brah, you okay or what?" Typing something. Typing. He just never like do anything. You know what I mean? So that was interesting. I realized that what I learned was my guess anyway, and my theory would be sorry, Chu. I'm a lapu. My theory would be that the scary parts generated a fear kind of energy, right? Where you got scared, and so when you get scared, it generates that kind of energy, that creepy, ooga booga kind of energy, and that's what manifested this stuff. You know, there we go. And that's what manifested this stuff, that kind of energy, and that's why we could see it and all of that thing. It was really cool. Hey Jennifer, yeah, I was only there momentarily. I'm back on Oahu right now. I'm over in Kaneohe. I'm gonna get more pictures that I missed. Oh, apparently I missed it. I'm hoping to see the. I'm hoping to see the pictures that move again. Yeah, but they haven't seen one since that one night when it freaked me out. But yeah, how you guys doing? I'm gonna turn you guys around to see the parking lot over here, just for a moment, because I need a little off-camera break. Oh, Tutu erupted again. I missed it. What?
I heard you gonna turn the camera on. I'm gonna just this up, y'all.
Oh, okay. That's why I give
I'm
you
a monopoly, man.
give you ample warning, bro. Oh, this is kind of cool. I know. I was really hoping that I could see the volcano erupt on the Big Island.
You just missed it by like 4 days.
Oh, just by 4 days.
It's actually not really. I don't think it was really.
That erupted? Kilauea, right?
Brother.
Halimau.
Yeah, the brother.
Bro, if it's Halimau, it's gotta be Pele.
No, the fountain, the true fountain is the brother. When it erupts like that, that's the brother.
Not the Kaina. I Laau. That's
I
not the
don't know.
brother.
I cannot. I don't remember the name of the brother. That's one of the brothers.
Yeah. One of her brothers. I remember hearing stories. I forget the brother.
I think every so often, whenever Pele gets too much attention, he does
I felt when I was there, Pele wasn't there.
that. Huh?
I felt when I was there, nobody was home.
Nobody was home.
Yeah.
But was the thing bubbling when you were there?
All I saw was smoke.
Oh, yeah, that's probably the brother, the other brother.
The Ara brother. Pele get plenty family over
Yeah,
there.
he get plenty. She get plenty. I never knew she get like 12.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. No, but the Hi'iaka sisters. Supposed to have like a couple hundred or thousand of them or something.
But no, the Halimau Mount.
Mm.
I didn't know there was like 12 actual spirits and the Kinilau of all the
Yeah.
all the stuff all over.
Yeah. I, I grew up
Don't mind
and
me, I'm
cut
kind of watching
your
the
hair.
second couple.
Yeah. Aloha Raiatea. How's it? Yeah, I mean, we could tell more stories. You guys have any questions? Go ahead, feel free to ask. We just chilling out over here. Tomorrow? Ooh, you're coming out again, not tomorrow. Let's see what we can do. Where do you want to hit up? Where should we hit up tomorrow?
Hookah at night. The gate is open.
What? It's open.
The gate is open.
Fricka. And I get my Starlink too, because I get bad. I get T-Mobile.
That's
So
where you go.
not a one work night though, bro.
Huh?
Not a one work night.
Wait,
I work tomorrow and I
At
work
night?
Tuesday. No, I work all day. Then I go home, do my dad's stuff, then go out and then go sleep and go back work.
Yeah.
I
Go
get
for
tired, bruh.
hookah. You and that. And then I'm gonna, I might pop up.
I might have to.
Hookah, bro. Right now, get something going on. Because that's one of the reasons why I out and about.
Oh, hello there. I haven't been put on my hookah a long
That's
time.
why you gotta go. At least once.
Long, long, long time. I'll practice my Oli too. Find an eruption if it's not telling.
Yeah, if it,
Matt, I told that story already.
yeah, for the pellet thing, if it comes out like this, like a happy, like this unhappy, that's the bottom,
Oh, okay,
the
okay.
younger brother. But if it comes out like this, like just like just coming up, yeah, that's the pellet. She
Yep.
came up. Did you see that last video?
Nope.
Gosh, it looked like when dents are coming out of the volcano. That was
Wow.
33, episode 33.
Okay. Me, I like watching in person. I like watching my own video tape.
Yeah, yeah, but majority of the time it's only like freaking like what 17 hours only for that
Huh.
day, and then she go back up.
Yeah. Do tell, Miss Bernie. I experienced Pele turn into a white dog in Kiahao in Kona. That would be Pokia. Oh, let me read the text fully, bro. I cannot. I got my iPad here that I can get the same text on. Yeah, those are two. I shared those two already, bro. He was chatting. The guy that disappeared from the bathroom when I was reading outside, and the girl that had the doppelganger sitting up. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I shared those two stories tonight already. Thank you. They're tired of TikTok, yeah.
You're not be tired of TikTok. That's
No,
where the money is.
yeah. Do tell. But yeah, TikTok is fun. I'm using TikTok platform as well as YouTube. But yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Sweet Savage, right on. I know. I get people come on. They're like, "Hi, Joe." I'm like, "Hi. I've never seen your name on this platform before, but hi." I know. I've been considering that, Demonica. I've been considering that. I have been. But the only thing I have is this device that can stream, my iPad. And the iPad's quality is really,
Oh,
really junk.
you get Starlink though. That means all your devices can work.
No, the camera is really, really junk.
Oh,
I know more. I know we're not. No, I know more one on a phone, but I might have to go get one on a phone so I can get tree phones. Just call me Bubba already, bro. Temple Valley. That would be cool, but that's also trespassing. I don't like trespass.
ah, you still get that rule on you.
Yep.
Computer in the back.
Well, see, I tell stories.
So,
So when I go over there, I'm either gonna stream or tell a story about going over there. And if I'm gonna do that, other people gonna do that, and they go say, "Oh, but I heard Joe went over there,"
uh,
right?
yeah. Because that's the issue you having right now at the.
Yeah. But that place you can go to. You from Waimea, Big Island. I don't have a lot of stories. Too bad Matt's not here. Matt has a lot of stories of Waimea. Matt usually comes out every night, so maybe if you want tomorrow night, Matt could share, ask again, and Matt can share some stories about Waimea. Yeah, I did actually. I was invited to go to Temple Valley by one of the security guards, but it never came to fruition. So yeah, maybe that place would be really good that Jubu brought up. You got me thinking now. That would be fun. Chinaman's hat. They
And they now lock the gate. There's no gate. You
there's
don't
no
have to pay the $5.
huh?
Nobody's there.
Well, I already paid a $5 anyway. I get Hawaii ID.
No, you gotta still pay.
Huh?
You still gotta pay.
Still gotta pay.
Yeah, I still paid.
What?
Yeah.
No.
It's not one of those. It's a private. It's a private thing. That's why.
Oh, it's not state park or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. Ah, no.
But yeah, they make you pay $5. Only $5.
Yeah. Yeah, Matt can share some Big Island stories. Guarantee. Give me one night off, bro. Oh, two. Oh, we get plenty Big Island people over here. West Side. Let me think. I haven't been West Side too much, and it's not because the ghosts. There's a Cotton Point. Oh, Cotton Point. Yeah, there's Cotton Point. That's as far west as you can get, I guess. I wanted to do a live from there too, but we gotta see. There's Makua Cave, but that's a story for another time too. Yeah. Yeah, hey, get plenty places around here. Anywhere in Nu'uanu, pretty much. That's public that you can gather at. I love Kaneohe.
You're brave.
Huh?
See all these guys showing up. You know why they're showing up, right?
Why?
Imagine this the other way.
Yeah. Like, oh, get one guy with two phones over here. Maybe we don't want to be on the live. It reminds me, bro. Kaneohe, I love Kaneohe. Went up to one stop line a couple years ago. Stop sign. On my motorcycle, have a convertible next to me. The one right by where you pull into Ho'omaluhia.
Mm.
By that, yeah, the Aloha store, Aloha Mart. We pull up over there, we stop, get one brother across the street on one unicycle. Brother just like this, regular clothes, like backpack on, arms extended like this, riding the unicycle across the road. Me and the convertible driver, we just looking at each other, rolling, bro. Like, brah, what the hell was that, brah?
But go Pro City, you're gonna see that canyon,
Huh?
Mickey's. You know when you go Mickey's
Mm.
in Pro City, they close at like 3 o'clock in the morning. The guy come down from
Yeah.
Pocky's place with the motorized wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, how you get? Oh, that's why I get that. he opened up like this, and then when he goes, he starts doing this kind of thing.
Yep. Ah, but yes, quinoa. Quinoa is the best. 100%. Quinoa is the best. You go over there, big freaking. You go order like 8, 9, 10 entrees, but they get them out to you in like 7 minutes. All fresh, hot, ready to go. Yeah. Get the guy Laliha that wears the mop on his head. One of my coworkers, I was training, young boy, like 22, 21. Good guy, Christian, wants to help everybody out. We pull up over there, get that homeless guy. He wears a halter top and a mini skirt, and he has a mop on his head.
He tried to be.
Yeah. And so he over there, he talking to himself, and it's like my coworker, oh, I want to buy him food. I'm like, bro, just you go buy him food. No, tell him nothing. Leave him alone, but buy him food. Put it by his feet. Walk. No. I'm gonna ask him. Hey, uncle, what do you want? And uncle was in his own little world, right? But he was knocked out of it. He looked at him and he started yelling at my coworker. He's like, I want everything. Buy me everything. He's like, what about just a burger and a fry? No, I want this. I want that. He's like, okay. What do you want to drink? He's like, you want a Coke? I want all the drinks. And he's just yelling. And I'm just like, hey, my coworker, I just walk away. Go to the corner. Watch to see how he's handling this. And then he gave him all the food, like 2 bags of food, a whole big 2 trays of drinks, and the guy just throws it back at him. He's like, "No, I wanted this instead." And I'm sorry. And I'm like,
Should have just left the people.
and I looked at him and I'm like, "Bruh, we go." He's like, "Oh, but I want to help Uncle." I'm like, "Yeah, you did already."
Yeah.
And then after 5 more seconds, I'm like, I'm going to the car and I'm leaving in about 30 seconds. So you can come with me or you can call for another ride. And he came over and I'm like, bro, you cannot do that. He's like, but I'm helping people. And I'm like, I understand you have the right place, but he was in his own little world. It's better that he stays in his own little world because now you brought him out. And now he's going to be talking to people, threatening people, and he might do something bad. Let him stay in his own little world. Walk up, buy food, drop it by his feet, walk away. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't make eye contact. Just buy him food, put it next to him, and just keep walking. Easy, right? Poor guy. Such a nice guy, but he kind of learned a lesson the hard way.
Yeah, they like really talk to you.
Huh?
They really like talk to you.
Who?
The couple.
They like talk to me.
I don't know. They walk around.
Right. I wonder what get back here.
Huh?
I wonder what get back here. What kind of spirits stay over here?
I don't feel nothing.
Yeah, I used to. In the bushes back there. Definitely back there.
Yeah,
WCC get plenty stuff.
I don't feel nothing right now.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
just I can tell it's
Boots and
busy
kimos.
with
Oh yeah, the pancake. Yeah,
but they walking around, you know. They walking around you. I don't know why.
the living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that might mean it may time to go a little while.
Because if I wasn't here, I think they would came up. They were over there for a bit.
Yeah. I stay Kaneohe. What about KCC? Oh, KCC get two. Oh yeah, get the
Oh,
hula girl.
that's the most haunted of all of the
KCC?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I know. Get the hula girl statue at the graveyard.
The KCC. That's the one. Not. Oh wait, I think it's something
KCC is
else.
Diamond Head.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the most haunted
Yeah.
of all of the community colleges.
Oh, I like go over there.
You can.
Can
Yeah, you can just walk across.
nighttime.
No more gate.
Oh, we just go do laps, walk back and forth.
And Diamond Head Cemetery is right there too.
Yeah, and that's open 24.
Yeah. So,
But we saw that hula girl statue. I think it's the way the cars hit the light. The lights hit the statue
Yeah,
that make it look like it's dancing hula.
I kind of debunked it a while ago. Okay.
Yeah. Nu'uanu has a lot of stories. Oh yeah. When are you doing Yolani Palace? I cannot do Yolani Palace. They close their gates at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
But I will be doing Yolani Palace. I'm hoping Saturday of next week. We'll walk outside, tell some of the stories, walk
Actually,
around.
you can.
Huh?
You can, as long as you don't approach the front of the event. You can enter the capital site.
The back is
Back.
open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see.
And then you can go to the banyan tree area, but you gotta watch for the living,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because those guys are. Oh, I like. You get cigarette.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
pakalolo.
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good to know. I just cannot go in anywhere that says no trespassing in front of
Yeah,
me.
you,
You guys
you
wouldn't
cannot,
teach me
you
that.
cannot go to the front. They close the gates at the front and then the side.
Okay, I didn't know
But
that.
you can go in the capital side, the Lidio Kalani
Yeah, the gate.
side.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night now. So thank you guys for cruising around, hanging out. Like, subscribe, follow. We're gonna do the live again tomorrow night somewhere else. More ghost stories of a different subject. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the stories about the mental health field and all of that. So it's always real interesting and real fun to go over these stories for me, just to relive them and retell them. And and a lot of stories overlap. So I have a few others as well about these group homes that overlap into different things like possessions and blah 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 and all of that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, we'll see about tomorrow. We'll talk. Yeah, well, you can come out with us tomorrow. But yeah, Uy and Matt and maybe Jubu too. I don't know. We'll see.
If I board, yeah.
If you're bored, yeah. Busy guy, this guy.
Yeah, I got nothing to fucking do.
Yeah. Yeah. Take care, you guys. Have a great night. Mahalo again for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. Yeah. Aloha. Ahui ho.
Is it 10:30 right?
10 o'clock.